In the time of making the last video and this video, my glasses took a little bit of a tumble. Kind of looks like rice pellets or something like that. So sad I got these wrecked. What's good everyone on YouTube? It's me again, back again with another video. And if you're wondering, yes, just like the last video, I'm in the midst of actually getting this shoe sold and I'm meeting with a person tomorrow. I'm saying tomorrow today, it's not really relevant, it's just in the time of filming, this is what's happening. But yes, so I am selling this shoe tomorrow, so I gotta make a video now before I don't have this shoe again, which is very likely because the prices on this shoe is it's questionable to say the least. So, as you probably know, the Adidas Yeezy line has been one of the most successful lines in recent history. A lot of really strange silhouettes, but to be honest, a lot of really interesting and good looking ones. I'm quite a big fan of the 350 V2. The 700s really did grow on me. And, well, at this point, I'm pretty much saying all of them are good. And even this 500, when I initially first saw the 500, especially in that blush colorway, I thought it was atrocious. But, you know, I've always kind of maintained a belief that it's very hard to say there are bad shoes. I would just say bad colorways, because I really do feel almost any shoe can be saved with the correct colorway. And I feel like this is the case with this one. And, you know, here's the intro, wrapping it up. Today we're going to be talking about the Yeezy 500 in the utility black colorway. With the intro out of the way, let's get into the box. So, in classic sort of Adidas Yeezy fashion, we've actually got this raw cardboard colored box. And on the top you've got 500 written. You've got Yeezy 500 made by Adidas. And you've got a small Adidas logo here. And what's interesting is it's the Adidas sportswear logo, not the Originals logo. I don't think this is any sort of performance shoe. Maybe it is, who knows. And if we slide the box out, it's a shelf style box. We've just got this sort of like brown, slightly waxy paper. And yeah, that's about it. There was actually no paper inside the shoe or anything. And this is very true for all of the 500s I've come across so far, so if your pair doesn't come with paper, don't worry, it never did. And if we take a look at the size label, it reads Yeezy 500. So in terms of price, I picked these up at retail, and they weren't a particularly hard shoe to pick up at retail. I distinctly remember the shoe sitting at a lot of places when it first came out. So I picked these up for 320 Australian dollars. I'll put the conversion here. And considering that the shoe brand new at this point on some reselling sites, it's going for close to 600, which is insane because the shoe was very readily available to everyone. I am just kind of dumbfounded by that, to be honest. If you guys are wondering, I'm actually selling these tomorrow for 290 Australian dollars, so a $30 loss, but I have worn these quite a bit, so a $30 loss on a rental, I'd say is pretty good. So, with the box out of the way, let's just get into the shoes. Here is the shoe, the Yeezy 500 in the utility black colorway. So, I remember when the first images of this shoe were surfacing and, you know, all these renders, the shoe was actually kind of advertised as a truly triple black shoe, but once you get it in hand, it's very clear that it's like this tonal grayish, almost like purplish hue to it. It's definitely not triple black in the sense that all the elements are the exact same color, but in my opinion, I actually think it worked pretty well on this because you've got so many different layers. And let's just get started. So, you know, the most defining feature I would say about this shoe is this multi-layered upper, and there is a huge amount of materials on this. You've got this wide mesh on a lot of the panels, a lot of suede overlays, especially on the toe and the eyelets. You've got this sort of nice matte leather cut that runs along the mudguard, and then you've actually got a rubber piece that runs around the entire shoe, which is the actual mudguard. And you've actually got 3M details sprinkled in this shoe as well that runs along the leather cut. So when you take a photo with the flash, you actually get a little bit of pop with this shoe. It's a bit unexpected, but I actually think the 3M detailing on this shoe looks really good. And moving down to the midsole and outsole, this midsole and outsole is very bulbous, very round, very organic looking, and it's actually not an original design. This was off an old Adidas basketball shoe. Was it the KB8s or the Kobe 3s or something like that? I'll put a photo of it, but the midsole and outsole is just borrowed from that shoe. So you've just got like the same cushioning tech from back whenever that shoe came out. I'm not even sure when that shoe came out, but I'll put the details on the screen. So segueing into the cushioning, actually, you're actually dealing with Adiprene Plus. So Adiprene Plus is this sort of proprietary like foam technology that Adidas owns, and it's actually quite an old technology, and I'll get more into how it feels when I get into comfort. Now in terms of sizing, another reason why I'm selling this shoe, I bought these a little too small. So I bought these in my true to size. My true size is a 9.5. And width-wise, the shoe actually is very good, maybe even a tiny bit too wide. But I find the length was just a little bit too much to bear. My toe reaches right to the end. And aesthetically, I will say for a fat shoe, you don't want to buy a shoe even fatter. So then just the shoe looks ultra fat on your feet. But in this case, it was a little uncomfortable. So if I had to do it again, I probably would go with a size 10. So my sizing recommendation would be probably half size up. Now, in terms of comfort, despite the fact that this is a recycled sole from an old basketball shoe, I actually find that the Adiprene Plus is a really good technology. It's soft enough where you can feel the impact protection while you're walking around, while also being, firm enough that you don't feel like your heel keeps sinking in and out of the cushioning. I find with some Boost shoes, if you wear it for a really long time, it does give your foot a little bit of fatigue because there's just no structure. But this is actually a really nice mix of structure, but also some cushioning. And going on to the upper as well, the upper, where the mesh is actually very breathable. I found that when the wind was blowing, I could actually feel it go straight through the shoe. But as an overall package, I would say the upper does get pretty hot because of the amount of layers on this shoe. But it's decent quality material, which means it flexes okay. So I would just say overall, this is a surprisingly comfortable shoe. And yeah, that's just the comfort, bro. It's comf. Now I get into my opinions of this shoe, and yeah, to be honest, when I first saw the 500, I was a non-believer. I thought it looked terrible. I thought it was the most hideous thing I had seen in a long time. And I still maintain that, especially the original Supermoon colorway that was on Yeezy's supply for a $720 US pre-order that you had to get the pants with as well, and the dumbass like hoodie. I just thought it was like the worst thing ever. But in this utility black colorway, I found that the color was toned down the shoe enough that I gave it a chance. And I actually ended up falling in love with this shoe for the period of time that I was wearing it. It's surprisingly versatile. It goes with a lot of things. It even looks half decent with shorts, which can't be said with a lot of bulky shoes. And I just think in this particular profile, the side profile, it's actually surprisingly sleek looking. You've got like the nice sort of curve down, and then you've got these wave lines along the side, and then you've just got this nice sort of angle on the heel as well. I just think it looks really good from the side profile, which is most likely where most people are going to see your shoes. And it's one of those things where you look in the mirror and it's like, wow, that looks good. However, I will mention the top view of this shoe is probably the worst shoe I've ever seen. It just looks like there are tumors sticking out on the side of the shoe. It's really unattractive, and every time I look down at my feet, it really makes me question why I bought this shoe. But then I look in the mirror and it's all good again. But, you know, I won't have these, you know, fights in my head anymore because this shoe will be leaving my collection tomorrow. And, you know, that's just how it goes, you know. I haven't worn these in a while. And, you know, you just got to keep things moving around and, yeah. Say goodbye again. And with that, we've come to the end of another video. I'm just trying to shoot through these quick as well because my throat is still shot. I would love to hear what you think of the Yeezy 500, what your favorite colorway is, and out of all the Adidas Yeezys, what is your favorite Yeezy to date? For me, I'll be honest, even though I was not a non-believer at first, the 700 is probably one of the best Adidas Yeezys to ever come out. Might be blasphemous to say something like that, but I really do think the 700 is ahead. It was ahead of its time when it first came out. No one really believed it, but now everyone's fiending over it. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video, and now time for the final on feet portion and the final time I'm ever going to wear this shoe before it finds a happy new home. In the meantime, I'll catch you guys in another video. Sensual, smooth. What?